This was at a high school in Texas. His name was Sam Day. He was just hired by the Commerce ISD. And then he was fired afterwards. Served in the military for 15 years. This is Trump's base. He didn't say they're undocumented immigrants. He didn't say they committed crimes. He judged them based on the color of their skin. And he wants ICE to come in there and arrest them. For what? What? Arrest them for what? For being not white? See, we can appreciate your service, but you can still be a piece of shit. You don't get a free pass for being a white supremacist just because you serve this country, sir. Two things can be true. You are everything wrong with the United States of America because you want it to be 1776. Your idea of American exceptionalism is a lie. You probably run around with your gold cross saying, God, Jesus, God, Jesus, God, Jesus. You probably think this was found on Christian values and freedom. You know what it was found on? Hanging black people from trees, dumbass. Legalized slavery. Segregation. Jim Crow. When black people got a little bit ahead, we burnt down their Wall Street. White people were too lazy, probably your great-great-grandparents, so we stole black people from Africa. Well, 1.3 million died on slave ships, and another million died in Africa waiting to go on the slave ships. Yeah, your great white nation, freedom, 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 said that only black people were worth 3/5 of a human being. They weren't even citizens of the United States, even though they were born here for the first 100 years. They couldn't vote for the first 200 years, sir. What in the hell is great about this country? See, that's what this is about. It's about whiteness. People like this white supremacist Sam Day with his little white hood and goes to his Klan rallies and inbreeds with his sister. That's what he wants. He wants segregation. He doesn't want Hispanics, Latinos, Muslims. He just wants a white man, but that white man, he doesn't care what he does. Rape women, sexually assault women, go look at 15-year-olds naked in rooms, cause an insurrection, felonies, bankruptcies, cheats on his wife, says he's going to murder 5 black men in New York City, have dinner with white supremacists, defend men that molest children. But this guy is not worried about any of that because he's a white man. And Sam, you're the same white supremacist that said probably to all of your white friends, I'd be shocked if you've ever even talked to a black person because it probably makes your skin crawl because you're such a morally bankrupt piece of shit. You know, I like his immigration policy, the border, the border, the border. So you went and voted for the border because you're for law and order. I'm not a white supremacist. I just want people here legally. Okay. But then you went to the voting booth and said, I'm going to vote for the white man that's a convicted felon and sexually assaults women. Yeah, because I'm for law and order. Yeah. Back the blue. I don't care that 4 officers committed suicide after January 6th. I just don't want the dirty brown people here because that's what this is about, my friends. Every day when I listen to the news, and I listen to very little bit of it, it's like people are robotic. They are completely failing this country. Well, President Trump ran on the economy. No, he didn't. He didn't run on the economy. He said they're eating the dogs and cats to Somalians. He said they're coming from a shithole country. He said they're poisoning the blood of America. He ran on misogyny. He ran on racism. He ran on white supremacy. What has he done? Come on, news. What has he done? Taken away the slavery at the Smithsonian? Took away slavery at the president's house in Philadelphia? What do you see Andy Ogles doing? Posting white supremacist tropes. Posting 9/11 videos because Zoran Mandami's running. Another white supremacist. You have another white supremacist and Ted Cruz. saying he's a jihadist when he's running for office. Like, you have group chats with young Republicans in New York and Florida. Literally, Republican Party young people saying blacks are the watermelon people and the N-word, and talking about concentration camps and how we should put the Jews in furnaces. This is the Republican Party. This is what it is. It is the modern day Klan. Now, I don't know what's wrong with you white people. I don't know what you need to see. I don't know if you need to get kicked in the ass. I don't know what you need. It was not about the economy. The dude added $8.3 trillion to the debt. He said he had concepts of a healthcare, literally had concepts of a plan. Still hasn't had Mexico pay for the wall. Still hasn't built the wall. Still hasn't, we seriously don't even have a healthcare plan. He still hasn't released his taxes. Has the war in Ukraine stopped? No, nothing. He's done nothing. Because he ran on cruelty and white supremacy. Even today in his speech, what did he run on? Transgender. There's 10 transgender athletes out of 100,000 schools or whatever it is. What crimes have been committed by transgender athletes? But see, what that does is that it triggers white people. It invokes fear and anger because they want to blame somebody for their shitty life. I have 6 teeth. I'm poor. Yeah, let's blame the immigrants. Let's blame the Muslims. Let's blame the transgenders. Let's blame the libtards. Let's blame Antifa and DEI and CRT and Mr. Potato Head and Dr. Seuss. And they can't tell me what a man and a woman is. But you have no solutions for anything. Like 40,000 people die from gun violence. What's your solution? Oh, you're not taking my gun, libtard. That's not a solution. That's not a solution. 34 people died in concentration camps. What are you gonna do? Nothing. I just want them here legally. But the white man can rape women. That's okay, but I'm not a white supremacist. I'm just telling y'all. Y'all better wake up. Because too many of you that look like me, white people, you still are under the impression that this was about the economy and you're just living in a delusional alternate universe. It doesn't matter who wins the midterms. Even if the Democrats win, Donald Trump, that white trash man of the White House that craps his diaper and wears orange makeup, he's going to say it's rigged. He'll start a war and put it on hold. You cannot vote your way out of this. Donald Trump is the dying breath of the Confederacy. That's what he stands for, and that's what his white trash base voted for. That's what it is. Yes, you are white trash. You literally walked around with garbage bags because you're trash. Because you run around saying you're pro-life and you won't do anything for life once it's born. You don't care if it's shot in a school, a movie theater, a shopping mall. You don't care if it starves to death. You don't care if Donald Trump rapes her. You don't care if Donald Trump molests her on Epstein Island. You don't care if that child grows up to be a cop and dies from suicide on January 6th. You don't give a shit about life. You care about whiteness. And y'all do the same shit with Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley. Let's put her on banners. Let's run on a platform. Let's demonize one white girl that was murdered by a brown person because they're undocumented. What happened to her was horrible. But what about the other 40,000 people that died? What about all of the white people that murdered people by the tens of thousands every year? You won't say a damn thing about the white people. But then you got white trash Joe Rogan, who's a white nationalist, that will talk about the transgenders. Tell me, Joe Rogan, out of the 200,000 people that have died from gun violence in the last 5 years, how many of those were transgender people? What, 6, 7? 98% of them were men. The vast majority, straight white men. Joe? Lynchings, white men. White supremacy, white men. Who wrote the Constitution that said black people were worth 3/5 of a person? That's right, white men, Joe Rogan. Who kept black people as slaves for over 100 plus years? Oh yeah, that's right, Joe. It was white people. Hey, who's molesting all of the little boys in the Catholic churches, Joe? Oh, white men. Huh. January 6th, Joe. The vast majority of people that be police officers, white men. Huh. It sure seems, Joe, like white men are the problem. People like you, mediocre white men with micro penises. because you're afraid of a white minority. Just like this guy in the video. That's what it is. They are terrified that their whiteness, their privilege is going away. So they're going to fight, fight, fight. That's what the SAVE Act is. They want to have as many people not vote or take away their votes. Then they want to deport as many brown people as they can, even if they're not criminals. And then they want to talk about making more babies. So they want to increase the white population, remove people that aren't white, that don't fit into their white trash point of view. And then they want to try to silence your vote. Now they're going to gerrymander black districts. Does that sound like it's the economy? No, it doesn't, because it's not. It's about time y'all wake up, white people. If you ain't talking to your friends and family, I've done it. I got family that are pissed off about it, and I don't give a damn. It's about time white people got uncomfortable. Because people that don't look like me, they ain't got the option of shutting their mouth and sitting on the couch and being quiet. Every day they're called the N-word. They're looked at differently. They're racially profiled. They have to give the talk to their kids, worried about cops pulling them over just because they're black. They get paid less. Their house is redlined. Their house is appraised at a different price. Their grandparents were in somebody's will's property or hanging from a tree. They're treated differently. But, I hate for you to be upset. Until white people are willing to be uncomfortable, ain't nothing going to change in this country. This is not about left or right. This is about white supremacy. Y'all better start doing some shit. This ain't right. We've been quiet for too damn long. It's about time white people put in the work. Go be uncomfortable. Piss off a grandma, a mom, an aunt. Who cares? Do you really want to be friends with somebody that supports a white supremacist? Donald Trump that rapes women and defends child molesters? Is that the relationship? Because that says a hell of a lot more about you than it does about them. Have a white day.